Join me for some of the sweetest DIY Easter decorations you'll see all season long. Hang out with me until the end to see the most darling of them all. Nearly everything used in this video was bought at the Dollar Tree. If it wasn't, I'll let you know and tell you exactly where I purchased it. We're starting off with a wood round. I believe this is 12 inches. I've already removed the wood rope from the top and very quickly painting a field with blue skies. To get definition in one easy step, I'm using one brush, two colors, and you see here how I'm applying it, and then I do the same for the field. The field was a tad too dark for my liking, so I'm adding in just a little bit of white paint to lighten things up. I'm going to cut this sign apart and just use the rabbit in this DIY. And this faux grass from the Dollar Tree is perfect for this project. I'm pulling the individual pieces off of their stems and just going to individually glue them on to make it look like a grassy foreground in our scene. The grass looks a little wild there at the top. No worries, we're going to trim it back and groom it in just a little while. But this is super fast and easy, and I think you're going to really like the result. This pick of daisies came from Dollar General last spring and just still had them in my stash. They do sell daisies at the Dollar Tree, but this pick was just $1 at Dollar General last year. I haven't been by this year yet to see if they have them in stock again, but these things are a dime a dozen. You can really find them anywhere. I'm going to place my bunny rabbit in here, making it look like it's running through the grass with just a few of these grass stems peeking up and over the body. And just add in the daisies where you see fit. You can certainly choose different flowers if you like. I like the daisies because they grow like grass, upright and tall. A few of these Scrabble tiles are perfect for making the bunny look 3D and sit comfortably on top of the blades of grass. And oh ye, the decision-making process has begun. Where do we place things? Where do we put this? Where do we put that? It's part of the creative process, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This decoration looks fine without the moss, but I wanted to fill it in at the bottom. I picked this moss up in just a small pack at Michael's at 40% off recently. And the yellow ribbon I'm using here came from Walmart. I'm going to pleat this ribbon all the way around the circle and secure it with hot glue. I'm not measuring anything, I'm just eyeballing it to make sure that the space between the pleats is about the same. The hanger I've added is braided jute rope that I picked up in a spool from Amazon a while back. And I'm telling you, no spring project is complete without these little honeybees. And here is our completed piece. It took about 30 minutes to put this together, and I think it is so cute. I wanted to add a little contrast between the wood round and the ribbon, so I added some of this heart-shaped lace ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I really think it takes it up a notch. What do you think? Does it look like this bunny is hopping through the grass? What to do with these cute little cottontail bunnies? Why not just glue them to a ribbon? I pulled a piece of this shiny metallic ribbon out of my stash. Any ribbon will work here. Just make sure it's slim. I think this is 1/4 inch. And I'm using the skewers from Dollar Tree. I cut them down to 2 different sizes and using them as spacers between each bunny. 12 bunnies and 12 skewers will make this a perfect fit around the vase that I'm using. You should use the number of bunnies and skewers that you need to wrap the vase you choose. Hot glue on glass is not a permanent hold, and that's just perfect because I do like to reuse my vessels. What will keep these bunnies intact is when I glue the ribbon from one end of the strand to the ribbon on the other end of the strand. As a result, everything will stay in place for as long as I need it to, but easily be removed at the end of the season should I want to use this vase for something else. Now we get into the fun stuff. Is this an egg necklace? We're going to take it apart, and I'm going to use my glue gun to make a larger hole in the bottom of the egg, and then I'm going to stick it on every other skewer, or the taller skewer. And I'm first just deciding on placement. I changed my mind here a few times with how I want to place the colors. I started off with a white egg on every other of the taller skewers and just realized it's not enough color for me, so I change it out and remove the white altogether and alternate between the blue, pink, and yellow. Now that I'm happy with that, I will put just a bead of glue on the tippy top end of that taller skewer where it's going to be, and then replace the egg and push it all the way down so that the top of the skewer is meeting the inside of the top of the egg. On the shorter skewers, I added a few flower heads from my stash. They're made from tulle and came from Hobby Lobby. I'm cutting away the carrots from 2 of these bunny signs, and you'll see here in just a moment how I use them to add contrast to the arrangement. But first, some mid-video fun. I like to get it in where I can. The eggs I'm tossing in here from about 2 to 3 measly feet away came from a mystery box I picked up at Michael's last spring. But you can really use any eggs. You can use them from the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree has some very pretty eggs this year. For more color and interest, I'm adding a single pick of hyacinth. This is supposed to simulate bunnies holding little balloons. And inside, I imagine that you could fill these eggs with money, candy, or whatever other little goodies you might like, and let family and friends grab from the vase as they come in for Easter dinner. This result is precious and extremely easy, but I want to know what you have done or plan to do with these little wooden bunny cutouts. I want to pause for a moment and say thank you for still being here. Here are a few ways that you can support the channel if you like the content and want to see more. I have the socials linked down below for you. I'm using one of the 4 plastic saucers that come in a pack from Dollar Tree and one of the 2 foam discs that come in a pack, and covering almost the entire thing in an eggplant color paint. Using a small amount of watered down white acrylic paint and a toothbrush, I spritz a little bit of white color all over the saucer as evenly as possible. But don't worry about mistakes here. If it gets a little too heavy in one area, you can just use your paint in the original color to clean it up. This part is optional, but I decided to put felt pads on the bottom to use as feet. Off camera, I had painted the foam disc in a dark green color and allowed it to dry. Gave it a little help with my heat gun, and I'm gluing this in the center of our saucer. I have a miniature tin jug from Hobby Lobby that I pulled out of my stash, and I'm going to stuff a few more pieces of this foam into that tiny jug. And now it's just time to put in our lavender picks. I want all of my picks that I choose to be standing straight up, because isn't that how things grow in the spring? Everything is perky and just standing straight up. I use a variety of different mosses to cover any of the exposed foam and then fill it in with lamb's ear. The small frog and butterfly that I'm using came from Michael's. They're actually made of a rubber material, and I found them in the kids section. Please, whenever you're looking for this kind of stuff, don't overlook the kids section in any store, because you'll be surprised at what you can find at a really reasonable price point. Speaking of kids sections, look at these cute marshmallow bunny headbands at the Dollar Tree. The bunnies pop off so easily and can be used in your projects. And here's our completed lavender saucer. You can take the bunny out after Easter and keep using this all summer long. This final project is by far my favorite. It's so cute. I can't wait for you to see the end result. But I'm going to start by just cutting off the top part of this bird's head. It just doesn't look to me like it belongs on a chick. After painting the feet and the beak orange, I'm going to cut out a piece of this yellow fluffy fabric to use as the feathers for our chick. Now, I was lucky enough to find this fabric at Goodwill, but you can get it at Joann's as well as Hobby Lobby. And I want to make a wing, so I'm cutting it out after freehanding the wing on a piece of cardboard and covering it with a few pieces of that same scrap fabric. And I'm doing the front and the back of the wing. Now the back of the wing is going to be glued against the body. You won't see it, but I like the fact that having that extra layer on there is going to make it stand out from the chick's body a little further. This fabric is so messy. I wish you could see how many times I had to clean up my craft area while doing this. We'll give her a little haircut to make things neat and start to glue this wing on. Again, out of cardboard, I freehanded and cut out what looks like, to me anyway, a little eyeball. And just using a Sharpie marker to color it in. And I'm so bad at doing anything circular freehanded, so I'm just using this guide to create a glare in the pupil. The peep is already so cute at this point. I'm going to dry brush the feet and beak with some white, and then I'll take a couple of pics of different flowers, tulips, and the hyacinth, and pop that in underneath that wing. But first I need to take my scissors and kind of make a space for them. A pocket. My idea for this was to make it look like this little peep went and picked some flowers and is taking them back to her mother. I'm not sure if this is needed, but I decided to take a small piece of twine and tie them together so that there's really just no risk of them falling out on their own individually. And then this lattice piece of wood decoration is made of real wood and was inside that mystery box that I picked up from Michael's last summer. I give it a coat of white paint, and then using a mixture of white paint and antiquing wax, I give it a distressed, darker look. Just before finishing, I realized that there was no real definition between the wing and the body of the peep. So I'm taking just two very skinny pieces of twine and putting them around about 2/3 of the wing just so that you can see a difference. So you know that that's a wing. And I think it does the trick. Here's what our peep looks like after a long journey of foraging for flowers and returning home to surprise her mother. And here's a look back at what we've created today. I can't begin to tell you how excited I was to start these Easter DIYs and bring them to you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here, for staying until the end. Leave me a comment down below and let me know which project was your favorite. Subscribe if you haven't already. And here's another video that I think you might enjoy. Goodbye for now.